let's get started. We got an exciting list of topics for you guys. First of all, we want to talk the upcoming matchup between Missouri and Georgia. Jordan, what are your initial thoughts on this game?
All right, so I don't think it needs to be overestimated how big of a game this is for Missouri, right? Going on the road, facing the number one team in the country, back-to-back national champions. Missouri's biggest game, and I would say 8 years, 9 years, since 2014 when they last won the SEC East. This will definitely not be an easy game for the Tigers, as Georgia has not lost a home game since 2019 to South Carolina. Um, the big key in this will be, can Georgia slow down Luther Burden, right? We've seen the explosiveness that he's had this season, specifically in the Kansas State game, catching, I believe, a 47-yard touchdown. He's just one of the more explosive playmakers in the SEC. Georgia's secondary will definitely be tested in this game, but to me, I think they're up for the challenge. Another thing to keep an eye on for me is the offensive lines, right? Georgia's pass rush has not exactly been there all year, but it's kind of it kind of had its coming out party last week against Graham Mertz and the Gators, even causing a fumble, setting up a Georgia touchdown, believe it or not. Um, I You feel like Missouri has to get in the 30s to have a chance in this game. Georgia's only given up 14.8 points a game, so we know that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. You might have to get Luther Burden involved a little bit more. And the Georgia run game to me hasn't been great, but it's been coming on and good in the last couple weeks. Dejon Edwards has run for over 100 yards 4 times this year, I believe. Um, so to me, this is just a tough test for Missouri. I don't see that. I can't see them winning this game, honestly. Evan?
Yeah, so Jordan said that Missouri will have to get to 30 something points to win this game. They will not. That's why they won't win this game. They might not even get to 20. So Missouri's had a very good season. They're 7-1 right now. They're ranked, and they should be ranked. I mean, they've beaten tons of SEC opponents. They had a really impressive win against Kansas State earlier in the year. But there's I'm trying to look at it because Georgia has been so quiet, mainly because earlier in the season they were facing a bunch of nobodies. They struggled a little to start, then they won the games. And then recently they've been facing the SEC opponents and have just been downing them. Like, it hasn't been close. Florida was not close. Kentucky was not close. All these games were not that close. Like, I know South Carolina at the beginning of the year was a little closer until later in the game. That's so Georgia's not making the headlines because they've been solid, and they've been still solid as the number one team in the country. So is Missouri, the question is then, is Missouri to that level? Missouri deserves to be ranked. They deserve the record they are, but can they compete with the number one team in the nation? Well, let's take Brady Cook, for example. He has 15 touchdowns, 3 picks, about 2,200 yards. Those are good stats. So we're 8 games in the season. He'll probably finish a little over 20 touchdowns. Those are good stats. That's not crazy stats. That's not like MVP stats or anything. Rest of the offense looks pretty good. The defense has been solid, especially last week. Pretty much just destroying South Carolina. Going on the road to Kentucky, getting a nice 38-21 win there. They've beaten Vanderbilt. They barely beat MTSU earlier in the year, but that was earlier in the year, so we can kind of discredit that. But my point is, they're a good team. Can they go to Athens and win? I don't see it, and I agree with Jordan. I think they're going to have I don't know if Georgia will go crazy, but I think Missouri is going to have some problems scoring in this game.
Yeah, the Bulldogs coming off a big win against the Gators last week. Obviously back-to-back national champions, as you can see from my jacket. Um, you know, Jordan touched on it perfectly. The Tigers gotta get Luther Burden involved a lot in this game. If they score over 30 points, they will win this game, but they will not score over 30 points, so they will not win this game. Also, Carson Beck and me and Evan was wrong on Carson Beck. He should have been the starter. He should have been the starter the whole year with Georgia. He's very good. I think Carson Beck, I think in every game he has gone for over 250 yards, I believe. So
250
I
sounds
think
about
he
right.
will keep that. I think he will keep that up against Missouri. I just think you know, everybody's talking about, oh, Georgia can't win a game without Brock Bowers. Georgia got this tight end called Austin Depp. He's still very good. And I feel like he's going to step up a lot, and Georgia will win this game. So that's what I got. Jordan, score predictions.
So I mentioned that I think, or actually Evan mentioned that he thinks Missouri will have a hard time scoring in this game, and I agree with him. Missouri will not get in the 30s in my opinion. Georgia will get in the 30s. I think the Dogs win this game 35-13. Don't be surprised if this game is 17-13 at halftime, 20-13 at halftime, and Georgia just rolls in the second half. Evan?
So I'm feeling on a roll. My predictions right now, I went 9-1 in NFL picks last week. I correctly predicted that the Oregon Utah game would not be close at all. So I'm going to keep on going. Give me Georgia 42-15 over Missouri.
Do not lose. Do not give me not. Don't give me no credit on that. I predicted right along with you. I predicted the Oregon game was going to be a blowout. I predicted Utah had no chance. But as for this game, I think Carson Beck relies on Lag McConkey a little bit too much, and he gets 2 touchdowns. I think Georgia takes this one. I'm gonna go right along with Evan, but I'm gonna go um 41-15. Georgia misses an extra point late.
Yeah, Jake, I don't have my credit card, but we'll use Apple Pay. There's your credit. All right.
Yeah.